I'm Guy Gerber from Israel, producer, DJ, and I also have a brand called Rumors. It's my label and it's a party in Ibiza, and it's based on the fact like there is no lineups, no set times, only rumors. I was used to be in a rock band, and I don't know, back in the days, stuff like Daft Punk came through, and I was tired like chasing drummers and like all the ego fights of a rock band. I got into electronic music, but I think most of the music from Israel back then was like trance and maybe like very progressive. So I was the only one doing what I was doing, which I didn't know exactly what I was doing. There wasn't even like an industry, so it took me a long time to kind of like to have a breakthrough outside of Israel. Then I started touring the world, and I think for coming from Israel, because there was no scene, in a way it was easy for me, because if you're, let's say, from Berlin, there is the Berlin sound, so it has to be a bit more minimal, or let's say the London sound, or the Paris sound. And from Israel, it was just like to see what's going outside, but there wasn't any scene, so if I would do something like that, nobody would tell me, hey, you can't do that, or you can do another thing. Me and a few friends of mine started to develop this sound that is based more on melodies, and yeah, from that it evolved, and at one point I got to work with, let's say, with Puff Daddy. Now I'm working with a guy called Matthew Deere on a band. We're gonna do a band, it has some guitars, it's still gonna be electronic, but in general, as much as I DJ almost every weekend, I'm more of a music guy. I just wanna be in the studio all the time. My assistant here can witness that. From my experience with working with Puff, as much as it's like, let's say, when you do your own album, it's much more difficult because you have to define yourself and it has to answer a lot of questions with yourself. And it's easier to produce somebody else, but I much more enjoy just making something that I want to do. And I love to collaborate, but it's a collaboration not to work for somebody else. So right now, there's a few names that I'm involved with, but it's basically working on my new album, which is gonna be, I don't know, I always wanted to do a crossover pop, credible crossover pop album. Because with Puff, the concept not to do something crossover, it was more like to build a bridge between my world to that world. And I didn't try to make, let's say, radio hits, or which I could, but it was like more to keep the foundation of my music, but to be translated to people that don't know anything about this music and listen to it, but still to be credible with any person from my underground world, despite the name so big like Puff. This time I'm just gonna try to do heartbreaking ballads with drum machines and bass guitar, and to girls with just more and more girls will fall in love with me. And if you play it for them, they will fall in love with you as well. So when you hear it, say, oh wow, you're such an emotional guy. I did a party in Ibiza called Wisdom of the Glove, which is kind of this funny concept based on this incident that I had in the jungle in Mexico. But since it was so weird, even though the party wasn't so big, it got a lot of attention, and a lot of other much bigger brands in Ibiza saw that, and they didn't like, I would say, the amount of attention that it got, so they tried to kind of, in a way, not block me, but kind of block me. So I couldn't book a lot of my DJ friends. But so it was a struggle, so I came up with a different concept, and I went a bit more indie, and I brought people like Nicolas Jar and Fortet and the Chromatics to Pacha, which is the most commercial club in Ibiza, and I brought the most cutting-edge lineup to the most commercial club. So together, it felt for me, if I would do it in an underground club, it would be pretentious, but in such a commercial club, it was almost ridiculous. So when it was ridiculous, I felt like I was creating the freedom, because everything is possible, so I created the freedom of the mind, how Ibiza used to be. But then, the year after, I thought to myself, I'm not a promoter. I don't ever want to fight with people. I don't want to like try to book people. You know, I make music. I just don't want to make a party, but I don't want to fight with people. So I said, I will out-concept my concept And I came up with a better concept, which is like rumors means no DJs, no lineups, it's just rumors. So you basically don't know, so I don't have to come up. And in Ibiza, every lineup is like 20 DJs, everything is huge, big, extraordinary. And I said I'm gonna go exactly to the opposite side because I can't compete with them, but also I did want to make my life easier. You know, I don't want to, like, let's say, agents calling me and my DJs to play at this time. I mean, I'm not a promoter. So I said it's like this: if my friend is around, he can play. You don't play, I will play. Or sometimes I don't even play, you will play, because you don't even see the DJs. Like in this shack, there is like a lot of people on the beach, and you don't see the DJ. And the first party that we did, because the concept was successful, we got shut down. And we got shut down by the police. And when the police came, they said we got orders from above. Like basically somebody didn't like that somebody doing something like that. So I was like, cool, great, interesting. And a few months later, we just got, we found this like place on the beach, and we started the same thing. It's a free party. And yeah, slowly a lot of people, it's not been promoted. So it's like exclusive, but it's for everyone. So not everybody knows about it, but if you know about it, you can just go in. There is no security or anything. And we had like 700 people, 1,000 people, 1,200 people. And after a month, every single Sunday, we have like 2,000 people at least. And with zero promotion. I don't put flyers, I don't put pictures from the party after. I just, it's on Sunday, and you don't know what is going to be there. And I felt that's how Ibiza used to be, and it's like my gift to the island that I love so much. Because this is like how I remember when I got there in 2006, that's how it used to be. It was on the beach, it was free, there was no politics as much as today, and it was just, people just hanging on the beach and listening to electronic music. So that's cool. Another concept that is essential over there, I play inside of a shack in a restaurant. So I see around me like 400, 500 people. So when I play for the people that I see around me, mostly girls, which is very important. But so the music that I play is like that, but later, every single time, every single Sunday, later they will show me pictures on the beach that we had like 2,000 more people, at least 1,500 more people on the beach that I would never see. And if I would see them, I will probably play a little bit more aggressive, because you see a lot of people, you want to make the move. But in the end, you could see that this music, as long as it's been built nicely, 2,000 people can dance also to something that is a bit more restrained and more special, and not like just very aggressive. I always think that, let's say before I start to play, I look at the DJ before me, and I know most people play, let's say, more aggressive, and I see if you play really strong, I want to see how people react, because sometimes people go like crazy, and sometimes it doesn't matter how strong. Some people, they're just like, they're just moving because it's a big crowd. So when I play, let's say if I play and I don't see everybody goes like this, I shouldn't be stressed, because just like you have to build it. But definitely something that I know since I started to make music, since I started to play guitar, I always have this kind of like physical, emotional feeling. So let's say if I have emotions, I feel them physically. If I see something in the street, if whatever happened, I feel it. And I know if I make myself this kind of goosebumps, I know 1,000,000,000% that every single person there feel it. So I play for myself, not for myself. I look at the people, I see if they're dancing, I have to change. Sometimes the sound I have to adjust. Sometimes you play one record that sounds great in one sound system, and this sound system doesn't sound that good. So I adjust, but I always try to, make if I dance, it means that everybody will dance. And it's like, because sometimes people come to tell you, hey, it wasn't so. What do you think? I don't know. I'm there. Once I'm there, I'm also there. I'm not like in another. I'm also in the same place. So, and when it's good, and when it's bad. And I try to. Maybe I don't always start good, but I never ever leave the place without a little bit of magic. I have to leave some magic in the place. And this is, if there's magic, so you do reach everyone. Just have a little bit.